Hey guys, it's Ron. Hey, listen, I wanted to tell you a little story. Um, how I got into Empower Network was a buddy of mine from Chicago called me, or not Chicago, Michigan, and he says, Ron, you've got to see this. He says, this thing I've been doing for 6 months, he says, I made more money than what I made all year last year on my regular job. He says, I quit my job. I says, yeah, right. He says, well, listen. He said, the reason why I'm calling you, he says, I'm coming down there. He says, do you have room? I says, well, yeah. He says, well, when I get down there, I'm going to show you. I'll explain it to you. I'll show you the proof. He says, it's cool, man. And he knows that I got burnt 2 years ago in an internet marketing scheme. I lost a couple $1,000. So, actually, I think it was more like 6,000. But anyways, he got down here, and sure enough, he showed me the proof, and I still really didn't believe him. I wasn't totally convinced. Let's put it that way. I was three quarters. Because if I was only half, I wouldn't have done it. But anyways, so I got in and signed up, and he explained the pay plan. So I got all in because I didn't want to miss out on somebody else buying a product that I didn't have and I didn't get paid for it. But anyways, so I was still skeptic. So there was an event coming up. He said, there's an event in Nashville. He says, you got to make it. I says, well, how? He says, well, go online, buy a ticket, and reserve your room in that, because the event was like, I think it was 2 weeks. Well, I went on into our Empower thing, our blog, and I went in the back office. There was no tickets left. But fortunately, there was a gentleman that, well, not fortunate for him, but for me, he couldn't go because he had to go to a funeral. So I talked to Bob and I says, well, what do you think? How do I pay him? I mean, how do I get the ticket? And he says, I'll take care of it. He says, I'll even pay for the ticket if you'll go. I says, cool. So I went ahead and got my plane ticket and everything, and I went back on the Extreme team. We've got a Facebook private site that we all hang out at. I went on there and I asked Tony Rush. He was the head of the Extreme team. He runs it. He's a multimillionaire made by Empower Network. He made it all here. But anyways, I went and I asked him, if it was okay to get this ticket. And he said, no. He said, tickets aren't transferable. Well, I'm going, oh, now what do I do? I've already bought my plane ticket. I've already got my hotel reservations. I mean, I got a lot of money invested in this. So I called Bob and I said, Bob, I says, I'm in trouble, man. I says, Tony's telling me now I can't do it. Bob says, hey, go. He says, what are they going to do, turn you away? And I'm thinking, yeah, in my mind, But anyways, so I went ahead and went. I met up with Bob when I got to Nashville, hung out, and it come time to check in. Well, we checked in. I got in. Next thing I know, I get this message, Tony Rush wants to see me. So I looked at Bob and I'm going, you coming with me. I says, you got me in this. So I went up, and anyways, Tony started talking to me and chewed my butt for, coming when he told me not to, and et cetera, et cetera. But the point of this whole story is this is how bad I wanted it. I got in, I went all in, and then everybody that was all in, they got to go on a boat ride Sunday at this event in Nashville down the river. So I got that, and I got to meet everybody. See, that's the big deal. I got to meet all these millionaires and these people that made all this big money personally. Got videos with them and everything else. But anyways, the story, back to the story. I told Tony, I says, not when he was chewing me out, and what we call is going in the woodshed with Tony, because anybody that's ever had a run-in with Tony, eventually it's all a laughable thing about being in a woodshed, but no joke. But anyways, I just wanted to share this with you. Take care and see ya.